back, ladies and gentlemen, to the latest edition of the CR7 Podcast. The RTGAT is back in today. Coming to you live 2 o'clock this time. This is probably one of our last 2 o'clock episodes we're going to have because of the fact that baseball season starts pretty soon, and Cole and I will be at those games. We'll have a preview of the WSJP schedule in just a minute. And before we introduce our guest for today's show, long-awaited guest, Cole, say what's up to the people.
Good afternoon, everyone. Happy to be here, like Ryan said. Probably not more afternoon episodes coming. We'll see here in the future. Committed to the grind. Hoping to have a couple more episodes out. Jason Nitz, hopefully, and
Jake and Labor and Dom Flynn as well.
Jake,
we'll figure it out.
All right.
But before we get into the rundown, Dom, say what's up. Dom, say what's up to the people. Let's introduce our guest to the latest edition of the CR7 Podcast. A long-awaited guest, Dom Campanero. Welcome to the CR7 Podcast. How we doing?
Yeah, it took a minute to get here, Ryan, but we're here. We're here. I'm filling in the shoes of Nation on the Plant and James Hansen.
All right.
Two legends, but you never had a Paisan on the show. I will be the first Italian here, and hey, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna enjoy it, and we're just gonna make sure we have fun.
Dom, talk a little bit about yourself. We haven't had too many guests on the show this year, but contributions to St. Joe's Prep. What do you give? What have you been doing?
All right. Well, obviously part of WSJP. Everyone's favorite club here. I write for the Hawkeye. Always got to balance journalism and broadcasting. Help out with sharing excess. You guys don't know about that. We give out food to the homeless outside of Broad and Girard. We can do that every single first Friday of the month. Great way to support. Get some service hours too. A great collective thing. I don't know what else I do. I do a good amount of stuff. I work at Chickens and Pete's.
Oh yeah.
Some crab fries.
Oh yeah. Cole knows.
I can't say a lot about that, but all right. That's stuff about me.
All right. But yeah, getting into the rundown of today's show. Unfortunately, we will be continuing with our weekly Sixers recap as the team has just been
not much longer.
Not much longer. But the
Thank God.
The postseason has to start until we get into the Phillies. That's our rule around here. We can't change it. And then going into the NFL, I'll be talking about Aaron Rodgers as his story continues to be up in the air. On what team he is going to, so I'll give my predictions and my thoughts on his latest. And then obviously we got to talk about March Madness, the round of 32, and obviously the round of 64 has just ended. We'll be moving into the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8. We'll be talking about the men's and women's brackets and how I'm absolutely screwed. My bracket went from 30% to 70% to 30% correct. So yeah, not looking too good. Dom, he picked Alabama to win, and he will give his reasoning for that as well. Moving on into the NBA, the Warriors will be without Steph Curry for just a little bit because of the fact that he has a tailbone injury. No structural damage for him, but he will be out for some time. We'll see how long, though. Dom is a boomer bust MLB. Is it a prediction? I mean, I don't know.
Just going through 3 teams. I'll tell you if they're around the boomer bust of the season. Pretty simple.
All right, fair enough. Cole will be giving his MLB NL Young Dark Horse for the season. Now, Cole wanted to tell me at lunch, but I told him not to so I could hear it on the show. And then we'll get into Ryan's rant, and we will wrap things up. Cole, the Philadelphia 76ers, I don't even know what they are in the last week or so. It's probably nothing too good, I'm going to guess. But yeah, talk about this team.
It's a Quinn Grimes show at this point. Maxey, I mean, he could come back, but just rest him.
0-4 since we last spoke.
Yeah, just rest Maxey. There's really no point in bringing him back because you have no chance at the postseason. You're really at this point just tanking for Flagg, and you don't want the Thunder to end up with your pick. So, yeah, just tank at this point. Quinn Grimes has been absolutely phenomenal. It dropped 46 against Houston in an OT loss. 28 against Thunder, and that's one of the best defenses in the league. And to have that type of scoring game, he could definitely be a huge producer offensively, maybe next year. And right now I have him in the starting lineup for next year over Jared McCain. I have Jared McCain playing the 6th man. I think it's also probably better for Jared McCain to ease back.
Yeah,
as the 6th man
to start the year, but it could change.
Yeah, I mean it could certainly change and. Quentin Grimes won't be the number 1 option, so we'll see how he does then. Justin Edwards, still a 25 piece against San Diego.
San
Antonio. A little Imhotep guy there, so, love to see that. I don't really have much.
You love Imhotep?
Okay, will you relax?
All right, no, I'm saying, I mean, we're PCL, they're pub, there's some rivalry.
Camp
and I, the Emotep
Be
people
real.
don't really like
they don't
us.
like it. They don't like South
They
Valley
don't really
people,
like us
so-
too well, so But
I
keep
don't
going.
have
Cole.
anything against Emotep.
Well, we don't either. They just don't like
no,
us.
just they don't like us.
Mr. Roman. Okay, anyways.
All right,
I'm done with my
I'm sorry they're a
analysis.
winner.
All right, let's keep going.
Am I next? What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ryan, you can
Can I
start.
take the light for Hawk Talk?
Yeah, go ahead, take it.
Might as well. Yeah, all right.
Hawk Talk. Make sure you guys watch on St. Joe's Prep YouTube. I think every Wednesday it does get released. So yeah. All right, Camp, go ahead.
Every start Wednesday too. Talking about the Sixers.
Yeah, Sixers. Last 4 games. What do we think here?
Management waste.
Alright.
Waste management. What's it called? Waste management. That's what they are right now. It's
Load
fine
management.
though. Is that what it's called? I don't know what it's
Well,
called.
when you don't.
It's the M and the W. Whoever.
Then I don't know.
It doesn't matter. That's what they are. But hey, gotta have bad games. If everyone even heard about this, George Niang. You hear about him?
Was it done?
Talking his
Oh,
talk. That's Quentin Grimes at the free throw line shooting. Yeah. Well,
I mean,
so the Sixers are making rivalries everywhere now. I
Okay,
guess.
well, I don't know about George Niang. What's he going to do?
well,
I was
For
gonna
your
say
team.
that you guys are in the playoffs. Team's your
Okay. He's on
Cavs.
the Cavs.
playoff
Alright,
team.
well.
So there you go. Yeah, but hey, we're Philly sports fans. We grow up to boo. We grow up to deal with this team, and we can all agree the Sixers are not going to be good this year. So
Well, yeah, they're
Yeah.
horrible this year.
I released
they're not
my.
even make the play-in.
I recently released my video and everything about the Sixers, the problems, and what's next for the team. Make sure you guys go check that out on my YouTube. But nonetheless, I mean the last 4 games, I watched the fourth quarter and the I try to watch all of it. But I'm very busy these days, especially with the new seasons coming up. But nonetheless, I watched that fourth quarter in overtime of the Houston game. Last year, I would have been so mad if we lost that game. We were up by like 15, and Houston came all the way back. I give credit to guys like Green and amongst others. Sengun didn't play so well that game. But Grimes was just coming down the floor and just drilling every single shot. I think when he missed one, the Sixers really couldn't find any other answer offensively. So I got to give credit where credit is due to Quentin Grimes. He's played absolutely incredible. And I don't necessarily disagree with Cole when it comes to, putting him in the starting lineup, saying he does return next season. I don't know what his contract status looks like. Oklahoma City, I mean, that's just a given loss. They're just one of the best teams. San Antonio, you're not, once again, just not, both teams aren't really trying to win games, but, good to lose there. And then last night against Atlanta, nobody looked good at all. I mean, I get we put up 119, but that was, that just felt bad.
I will say, Quentin Grimes kind of reminds me of a young Cam Thomas, doesn't he?
Yeah, actually, that's a good comparison. I think Cam Thomas is a little bigger,
Okay.
but yeah. What do you call it? Before we get into the rest of the show, let's talk a little bit about some stuff here. If you guys want to stay up to date with CR7, make sure you follow us on Instagram at CR7_podcast. Stay updated with WSJP. Make sure you guys like this podcast and subscribe. This upcoming week, we'll have baseball on Wednesday against Devon Prep, where Cole will be playing in that game at 4 p.m. And then Thursday, Camp and I will be on the desk here with our spring sneak peek. Hopefully some future preppers come to the table, asking about March Madness and, some other opening questions and all that good stuff. Friday, 4 o'clock, St. Joe's Prep Lacrosse will be taking on Bonner at Bonner. So, yeah, and then Saturday, once again, baseball, 12 p.m. Against Camden Catholic. So, anyway, let's get into the rest of the show here. Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has been in the news as of late because of the fact that he just doesn't know where to go. He's always taking his time, always in the headlines and all that. But I will say this. He's not going to the Giants. And I think it's because of the fact that they just signed Jameis Winston to a 2-year contract. Obviously, they want him in there. And I think that signing just kind of tells us that the Giants are probably going to go quarterback in the draft because of the fact that you don't sign a veteran like Jameis Winston who, will throw 4 touchdowns but also 4 interceptions and not draft a high overall pick, because Jameis Winston was also the number 1 pick back in 2015. We have to remember that as well. So I think that when you take all that into consideration, the level of expectation Jameis Winston could teach to a younger guy. I think it just makes all the sense right now, and it kind of looks like the Giants are gearing towards taking a quarterback, but that's why I don't think that they will sign Aaron Rodgers. You obviously don't sign Jameis Winston and then Aaron Rodgers, but nonetheless, I think he's going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I think it's because the Vikings don't need J.J. McCarthy to sit another year. He obviously had an injury and whatnot, but you have a full training camp of being the starter to get accommodated with Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, T.J. Hawkinson, Aaron Jones. The offensive line and all that. You have so much time to get accommodated with them. Obviously, they're going to be working. I would think they're going to be working during the off season and whatnot. Obviously, he probably saw a little bit of I'm sure he was in the facility with the Minnesota Vikings last year. So he definitely saw the playbook of Kevin O'Connell's offense. Kevin O'Connell has a very quarterback-friendly offense. We've seen quarterbacks like Kirk Cousins and Sam Darnold most recently really fit into his system, because really any quarterback can fit in his system, as we've seen over the past couple of years. So they don't really need Aaron Rodgers. And obviously J.J. McCarthy also was on a rookie scale contract, so you want to take advantage of that. You have another couple of years of him before you might have to pay him $60 million or whatever his ceiling will be when it comes to salary. And then the only other team is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Listen, they don't have Justin Fields anymore. He went to the Jets. And then, you saw with Russell Wilson last year, he's obviously not going to take you to a championship. He's good enough, I think, right now to, get to the playoffs, but his ceiling is just a first-round exit. But you need to see what you can do with Aaron Rodgers. I think that what you saw with Brett, it could be a history repeating itself. Brett Favre looks bad on the Jets. He goes to the Vikings and is an MVP candidate, goes to the NFC Championship game. You see Aaron Rodgers do the same, and it could really be a Jets curse, to be honest with you, and how terrible that franchise is run. So I think the Pittsburgh Steelers run a bit better. Obviously, they have a great head coach in Mike Tomlin. You got some receivers, a decent offensive line. You have Kenneth Gainwell in the backfield. You have Warren, who I think is on the rise. Have a great defense. I don't know if it makes all the sense in the world, but I don't think both sides have any other choice than to pair together. I'll hand it over to whoever wants to go next.
I'm not going to talk about this. I don't even really follow Aaron Rodgers anymore at this point. I would say Steelers at this point, or he honestly could just retire and become an analysis. So I don't even know at this point.
Yeah.
I hope, if anything, he doesn't go to the Vikings, because I hope he don't live in the Matrix.
All right.
That would freak me out, because they're the same thing as Brett Favre.
All right. I don't think
But-
I can't say it.
No, I don't see it either. I don't blame you.
I
But
think Russell Wilson goes to the Browns as well. I
Browns?
think he goes to the Browns.
But I mean,
Watson might not play for the year, and they need a quarterback.
I don't know why you want to keep Watson, though. That's my thing.
Well, they have to. Who's going to take his contract?
Well, I mean, that's the thing when you say about, many other
Well, anyway,
teams, too.
back to Rodgers.
You're right. Yeah, I mean, any other team is going to take him. Again, the Vikings isn't a bad thing, though. You say J.J. McCarthy needs another year to develop. It's not a bad signing at all. It really isn't.
No, I mean,
It's not the worst thing you're going to get, but it's going to be something.
my thought process is that you after this season, you only have 2 years left of his rookie scale. Well, technically 3 years if you count the 50-year option, but he's going to want to get paid. So,
But he's got to have a chance to prove himself. So you could say that Aaron Rodgers plays, or if he doesn't do well, you cut in, put J.J. McCarthy in. He does incredible.
yeah, but you can't bench Aaron Rodgers. He's Aaron Rodgers. It's not like it's Drew Lock or somebody.
I'm
like that.
benching Aaron Rodgers if J.J. McCarthy's like a stud.
Yeah, but we wouldn't know that if Rodgers isn't playing.
That's what I'm saying. I let him develop first.
I had that year. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Maybe.
I know, we're getting off topic.
No. I mean, no, this is good because it's all in the conversation of whether you think J.J. McCarthy needs another year to develop. And Rodgers said, well, if you think so, then it would make sense. But I think he's fine. Rodgers wants to go to the Vikings, apparently, though.
It's a Brett Favre thing.
It has to be. It honestly has to be a Brett Favre
There's no
thing.
way.
But yeah, I think that he wants to go to the Vikings. I don't think the Vikings really need him. They don't need him
I don't
necessarily.
think they want him either.
I wouldn't want him either with all the drama he comes with. I mean,
Yeah. No, you're right.
I think the Steelers are the prime spot. But anyway, let's move on to what everybody has cared about in the past week, which is March Madness. Now, my bracket is absolutely screwed. I'm at 32.4%. I'm currently ranked 16,215,178 in the world. I am screwed. I'm barely going to talk. You know what? I am going to talk about this. Ryan's rants is going to have some. When we get into that segment, I'll talk about that more. I'm going to start off with Cole. Obviously, this is a segment. Cole, just start. I'm not even going to introduce you to this.
All right. Right now, my bracket's at 94%. I got Duke winning it all.
Now, do you have one bracket, or is it multiple brackets?
Here, I have. Well, the one that I enrolled in all my groups is just one.
All right.
All right. So, first, I got Auburn, Michigan. Michigan, they match up so well against Auburn. And here's my thing. I like Golden too much, but Broom, he's just been so good. I really like the way that Michigan played in the first round against UC San Diego. I thought they did a really good job, especially in the first half. And then Texas A&M, I mean, they just destroyed them at that point. So if there were to be a team to upset Auburn, I would take Michigan, but I think Joni Broom, Todd Pettiford had 24 off the bench in his last matchup. I think Auburn's too hot right now. I'm gonna take Auburn. Moving on, Ole Miss, Michigan State. Now this is a matchup I really like. Ole Miss coming off a win against Iowa State. Now they're a really good defensive team. Michigan State's also a very good defensive team. Now Michigan State doesn't have a real, top A-tier, S-tier scorer. Now they have Jaden Atkins, but I just don't think he's good enough offensively. So just that reason, and I know a lot of people are just going to go say coaching Michigan State, and I know a lot of guys have Michigan State over Auburn in the Elite Eight. But I'm going to take Ole Miss here. I think this is my little hot take. I do have Michigan State right now, but I am going to take Ole Miss. I think that they're hot. They're coming off a big win over Iowa State, and I think they can keep that rolling. And a lot of people had UNC going this far, so I don't know. I'm sticking with Ole Miss here. Moving on, Florida, Maryland. That is also a very good matchup. I really like what Maryland did in the last round against Colorado State. Derek Queen, he had a great game. Had the buzzer beater to win it. So if Derek Queen has a good game here, I think that they could take the win. But come on, man, Walter Clayton is way too good. In the clutch, he had like 3 fadeaway threes from just absolute bucket. And I am gonna take Florida here. I think that they're very good defensively. They held Norfolk State to only a couple points. UConn did kind of expose them, but I'm still gonna go with Florida. Moving on, Texas Tech, Arkansas. I had St. John's over Texas Tech here. I'm gonna take Texas Tech. I like them way too much offensively. Calipari, he's gonna have a good game plan, but I just think Texas Tech and JT Toppin way too good offensively for Arkansas. Then I have Duke over Arizona. That's pretty straightforward. Cooper Flagg's too good. Duke's got great guard play to combat Caleb Love. I have Alabama over Wisconsin, but BYU's in it. I'm going to take BYU. They've looked the best they have all year. From an offensive standpoint, they're one of the best in the tournament. I talked about these guys earlier this year. They're going to be even better next year with AJ DeBonsta. So, I mean, it can't get much better than this. I got them upsetting Alabama, and I'm taking 2 6 seeds to the Elite Eight. Also, I think Mark Sears is just super overrated. Houston, Purdue. Houston, they're the best defensive team in the tournament. They shoot 40% from 3. Everyone had Gonzaga. I saw through that. No Gonzaga Sweet 16.
Thanks.
Houston's dancing to the Final Four.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
Tennessee over Kentucky. Tennessee's been. First off, they're the way more experienced team. Kentucky's good, but I don't think they're that good, and I think they're going to get exposed. And then my Final Four, I'm going to take Auburn over Ole Miss, Duke over BYU, and then I'm going to take Houston over Tennessee, and Texas Tech over Florida.
All right.
I mean, this is the pits. Next year, I'm going with 4 or 5 upsets in the first round. Because I mean, the year that I pick favorites, the upsets win. This year, I go with upsets. Most of the favorites win. I'm going with 4 or 5 upsets next year. I don't care what happens. I can bring analytics and It doesn't seem like it matters anymore. Honestly, I mean, I could do I guess one game really makes it all. But nonetheless, yeah, I screwed myself over by taking too many upsets. I'll own up to that, but it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, I'll take Florida over Maryland. Texas Tech. I never was a fan of Texas Tech. I never really, liked them that much. You know what? I'm not taking any more upsets. I'm going with Texas Tech to win this one. Yeah, Houston over Purdue. I wasn't a big fan of Houston, but
get on the bandwagon.
Well,
get on the bandwagon. I've been there since the round of 64.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, yeah, I guess I'll take Houston to win that, and then I'll take Tennessee as well. I had Tennessee over Kentucky this whole time, so I can't really change that, even if I wanted to. What do you call it? Michigan State over Ole Miss. I'm surprised they've gotten this far, Ole Miss, to be honest with you. They're a good team, but there's nothing that they did that was particularly great, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So, I honestly don't think anybody really expected that. I mean, I guess I'll go with Auburn to beat Michigan. I like Broome and whatnot. Duke over Arizona. I mean, Proctor was an absolute monster the other day. I will take Bama over BYU. Their offenses looked great over the past couple of games. So yeah. Yeah, I mean,
anything else?
My final four remains the same. I will go with Florida. I guess I'll just put all the ones and Florida and Tennessee. Sorry, Tennessee, and then Michigan State, and then the two other ones. So yeah, that's
still not believing in Houston, man.
Nah, I mean, I'm not the biggest believer. I'll take Tennessee over Houston, but can't go ahead.
All right. Well, I'm gonna ask one more question. You made one
should
bracket or two?
Should we wait for him for his?
That's fine. That's
for his
fine.
whole
Yeah.
thing?
My question though.
I'll do my real.
I always make one.
You only do one.
I only do one.
You had St. John's and.
I did have St. John's in the final four.
I'll do my women's real quick, and then you can do your Alabama.
What was your
mine?
Your championship matchup.
Dude.
First, take it on.
Well, hold on. That's gonna be for the next episode. I'm giving my final four.
Well, Camp, why do you have Bama winning?
We'll get to his thing.
I'll do my women's real fast.
Do women's.
All right, so I'm gonna make this very quick. Just gonna give it up to the Elite Eight. Then my final four I'll do next week. All right. And I am pretty hot recently. I think I only have like 5 wrong right now, so I'm doing pretty well. Gonna take UCLA over Ole Miss. I'm gonna take LSU over NC State. And then, here, let me do my round of 32 because not all the games are done. So I am gonna take LSU over FSU, and then I'll take LSU to the Elite Eight. Then next one, USC over Mississippi State, and then I'll take Oklahoma over Iowa, and then I'm going UConn over Oklahoma and USC over Kansas State, and then I'll go Maryland over Alabama, West Virginia over UNC, and then I got South Carolina versus West Virginia in my Elite Eight, and then final one, I got Texas over Illinois, and then continuing off that, Texas over Tennessee, and then I got Notre Dame over TCU, and then I got Texas Notre Dame in my Elite Eight.
All right. So Camp.
And then my final four will be
next
episode.
All right, Camp. Get into why do you Bama winning this?
Yeah, I'll do this real quick. Well, I mean, I've watched not a lot of college basketball. I'll be honest. I feel like when you do a bracket, you think you know basketball, but you don't really know it. So, Bama's a team that I think's gonna have it. We'll talk about the first game. I know everyone's gonna say, "Oh my God, they played horrible against Robert Morris." I get it. That's an upset. That feels like a trap game. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't have been surprised if they lost, but I didn't because they're Alabama. They're gonna win.
All right.
They take on the toughest defense in all of college basketball, and they just dominate. They really dominated St. Mary's.
St. Mary's doesn't have any offense.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't. I mean,
if they would have stayed in the game offensively, I think it would have been a better
game. Bama has barely any defense, but they played incredible on defense. Their offense is probably the best. Their defense got so much better.
But what I'm saying is their defense wasn't as elite as Mary's inefficiency from the field.
Correct. I
That's what I'm
agree.
saying.
But still,
I think
everyone's like,
with
oh,
the
Bama.
BYU team, I think BYU's going to hit a lot more shots, put more pressure on Bama. And I don't think Sears is good in the clutch. And
Yeah.
that's why I'm taking BYU over Bama.
Yeah, I hate to mess with the Mormons, but don't think the Iron Rod's going that way. I think Bama just has it.
And you think they're over Duke, too?
I don't think I'm
I
over
think
Duke.
so. I think so. I
Duke's
really
got
do.
so much firepower.
I don't know though.
You're
Flagg,
going
Proctor.
I
Bucket-
know, but
bucket for
think
bucket,
it's showing out.
bucket for bucket. There's no. I can't take anybody over Duke at the current moment.
Who's-
Gotta
who's
look at
guarding?
Proctor.
Yeah.
You just gotta look at Proctor. Flagg can do everything on the floor. The 7'2" guy is supposed to be a top
Come
10
on.
pick. I mean, they got so many draft talent right now that I don't know.
And then they got that guard,
Yeah,
ACC all freshman.
right. I mean,
He dropped 28 in the ACC chip.
both teams' defenses are decent. They're not anything spectacular, but I feel like bucket for bucket, I can't take anybody over Duke at the current moment in time.
Well, you
But we'll
said,
see.
you said your bracket's destroyed.
Yeah,
Mine right now, aside from whatever Houston is.
yeah, you know what? I am going into I am going into analytics. And,
I got 3 perfect.
game plans
like,
again. So.
We have to we break into the court. I mean, how about here's another hot take: Michigan State going to the championship.
Well,
Oh, please.
I could see it.
Please,
I have them
no,
in my Final
Tom is
Four.
man.
I mean, if they get to the Elite Eight, either Michigan or Auburn, I mean, they have no one to combat them.
Michigan State versus Michigan game though. This Elite
That's
Eight
a
would be.
great
I
game.
know,
That's
but
just
what
a
I'm saying is
Big
they
Ten
can't
game.
combat the big guys.
You know.
Michigan State's got one or two
No, I
okay
mean-
big guys.
No, I mean I could see it happening.
Michigan has 2 7-footers, and Auburn has the Player of the Year.
Cole, welcome to March, bud.
Exactly.
It's all different.
Welcome to March.
Welcome to
Oh, you know,
March.
I'll be laughing in your face.
Welcome
I
to
can
March.
see
It's
it.
okay.
To the
All
Final
right,
Four.
all right.
Yeah, I didn't pick St. John's. Thank God. I had them. I did
Me
have them in
neither.
the Elite Eight though.
All right.
I'm not a
Let's move
clown
on.
taking
It's fine,
Gonzaga
though.
over
All right,
Houston.
quickly here. Let's talk about the Golden State Warriors. It's not really that bad, but it's just something I felt we could talk about here. Steph Curry out for a couple of games. Jimmy Butler going to come back for Thursday's game against the Miami Heat in Miami. So that's out. Sorgi is so our producer Anthony Sorgi has showed up for the final 5 minutes. Well, it's not his fault. It's not his fault, but anyway. I'm looking at the Golden State Warriors right now. I think without Curry, it's a big problem. If you have him missing for an extended period of time, because of the fact that the way Jimmy Butler plays and the way both guys can play off the ball, you can't really double team. And I feel like that's kind of what the Warriors' problem was in the earlier part of the season. You had way too much attention on Steph Curry. Not too many guys could get done offensively. Not that much great shooting around Steph Curry, obviously without Klay Thompson and whatnot. But with Jimmy Butler, you have a mid-range shooter. You obviously can get inside of the paint. You've seen him do a lot better job, on his cutting, playing without the basketball, because of the fact that Steph Curry plays so well without the basketball. So you have to take all that into consideration right there. So I think without Curry, there's going to be a lot more attention paid to Jimmy Butler. And then both those guys make everybody around them better because they can create open shots for more guys. It's going to be a problem in my opinion, but I think when it comes to the playoffs, not seeding, matchups are going to matter. I think that the Lakers, they're the 4th seed right now. So they would play the They play the 5th seed, the Memphis Grizzlies. I think that's a better matchup for them. I think if the Lakers had to play the Denver Nuggets, that's not a great matchup for them. So I think matchups are going to matter in these playoffs. I don't think seeding is really, something you have to take into consideration. Obviously, home court advantage and whatnot, but I think matchups are going to matter more in the playoffs. So if you're the Warriors, I wouldn't really want to I would want to match up against the Houston Rockets, but they're hot as of late. I'd rather match up with, I don't even know, maybe the Lakers, something like that. I don't know. We'd have to discuss this for another day. But nonetheless, I don't think we have anything. You guys probably don't have much on this, but anything there?
I think
All right.
let's move on.
All right, let's go. Camp, you have
I'll
3 boom or bust teams.
I'll just do one right now. I feel like we got to
Just
run out
one?
of time. All right, it's
We'll
fine.
go quickly. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
All right,
we can do all 3.
Or we can pick one. All right, you pick a team 1, 2, or 3. Which one do you want? 3
1.
good answers. 1. Okay, that's even better.
All right.
The Mets. Okay, the New York Mets is my team. New York. You know what I mean? Here we go. What do you think I'm going to say? They signed Juan Soto, 15-year, $765 million. So when I talk, everyone listens. It's kind of funny. Andy Torrey just got off his phone. They got Pete Alonso back. Sean Manaea, you're looking at the picture right there. AJ Minter, nice signing there for the bullpen. Jesse Winker. They did lose Harrison Bader, though, and JD Martinez, although they weren't really that much help. Finished second in the NL East. Remember that? They lost to the Dodgers in the NL. Yes, they ruined all of our hearts in 4 games. But here's what I'm going to say. Steve Cohen knows where to put his money at. This team is a boom. I'm telling you that. I got them as.
I feel like
I got them winning. I got them winning the NL East.
Oh, okay.
My take, 94-68.
All right, hold on. Let me say something. I got them as a bust. Look at their starting pitching. Kodai Senga, he's not a number 1 option. He's coming off a big, he's got arm injuries, piling up a little bit. So getting him back, I don't know if he's a number 1 guy. Sean Manaea, you talk about him. He's been okay. His arm slot's good, but I think, people are starting to catch on to his stuff a little bit. Frankie Montas, that was a great signing. I think he has a lot of upside. Do I think that the pitching coaches with the Mets can get it done? I don't know. His strikeout stuff was up, but his ERA was also up with his stint with the Brewers or whoever he was with last year after getting traded from the Yankees or whatever. Clay Holmes, I like him. He's got a new pitch. He's got the kick change. I really like what he's been doing. I don't know how well he's going to do as a starter, though. Tyler McGill, he's not very good. I don't think they have a 5th starter, really. I think they're going to have the same problem we have last year. But I don't know if those are just a bunch of decent guys. Kodai is saying he has superstar talent, but I don't know if he can step up to that role. Their number 1 guy last year was Luis Severino, and he went back to the A's. So I don't have faith in this pitching. That's my only thing. I like Jose Butto out of the pen, though. Throws gas.
Can I say one thing there real quick?
I'd say bust, honestly, because of the fact that I feel like the Mets, they when they sign all these guys, not everything meshed. You look at it a few years ago, not everything meshed. But Cole, who's your dark horse to?
You said it before, and it's Christopher Sanchez.
Oh, Cole, come on.
He's throwing 98.
Yeah, throwing 98, but you can.
And Alvarado was 98.
You can't pitch.
Go crazy over him.
You can't pitch 90.
Alvarado's 98.
He had 22 strikeouts over 9 innings.
You can't.
Training.
Spring training doesn't.
Didn't let up a run.
You can't pitch.
Did he get his trophy in spring training? He did.
You can't pitch 90 pitches in 6 innings and expect that to progress over the course of the season. If 1/4 of the season was based off.
We saw with Ranger. And
then that went down because he was pitching so many pitches. His ERA, and he was hurt and all that.
He's throwing so many pitches. What are you talking about?
He had 106 pitches in 3 games. I could have sworn he did. Okay, he'll look it up or you'll look it up. Find out right
pitches?
Now. He had.
Okay.
Yes, he did. Okay, there we go.
What? I never agreed to it. All right, but anyways, I just think uptick in velo, his changeup's still going to be absolutely disgusting. I think his strikeouts will go up, but I also think that this defense have gotten a lot better over the offseason. Christopher Sanchez, he's done a lot. He's done a lot of good things this.
I don't know. This team has not changed, Cole. This team has not changed whatsoever. That's all I'm going to say.
Let's get
talking.
This team is not. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. This team has not changed at all.
Hey, quickly, Ryan's rant. Let's do it.
People getting mad over the Vanderbilt kid.
All right, transfer. I've had enough. Cole, who in God's name is Karis Billall? I have no clue who that is. No disrespect whatsoever, but I don't know who you are. Nobody and their grandma outside of Vanderbilt knew who he was 5 days ago, but you knew who he was after he transferred, so why is everybody making a big deal of it? The guy didn't play. Okay, he transferred right after the game. So what? I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Will Wade, the coach of McNeese, right after his team lost, didn't even care about the team around him. Signed a 6-year deal with NC State. He knew where he was going before the season ended. We don't know about what this Vanderbilt kid's going to do. We don't know if he's going to come back or what he's going to do. This guy had a deal lined up before the game. Then he goes out, signs a deal with NC State. 6-year contract. You know how much negotiating and all that stuff you got to do to have a 6-year contract? How committed was this guy to actually winning basketball at McNeese instead of getting his bag? That's a disgrace. I'm telling you something right now. Move on to the next topic.
I'm the Xavier coach. I'm tired of my bracket.
All right, I talked about this earlier. Next year, I'm just going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, I'm putting a blindfold over me. I'm picking all the 1 seeds, all the 2 seeds, and then I'm blank picking all the others. I've had enough of the bracket. Every year, everything just doesn't go my way. I've had enough. 30%. You know how bad you got to be to have 30%? That's me, for God's sakes. Last one.
How is Sean Brady not in the welterweight title talks?
People want to put Shavkat Rakhmonov over Sean Brady at the current moment in time, and I don't necessarily disagree. But he fought when Bilal Muhammad backed out of their title fight at UFC 310. I get he had the MCL injury. We can't forget that. But at the end of the day, Ian Gary could have won that fight against Shavkat Rakhmonov. Some people think he won that fight against Shavkat. So if Shavkat would have fully backed out of the fight, then I don't disagree with giving him the title shot. But why can't you do Shavkat versus Sean Brady? Even if you have a fight and you don't look like the boogeyman that you are, there are some questions that people have. If people are going to question that whether he deserves a welterweight title shot against Bilal Muhammad, who I think is going to beat Jack Della Maddalena, you have to put him in another fight. Sean Brady absolutely dominated Leon Edwards. And obviously I'm a little biased towards Sean Brady, but nonetheless, put him in the welterweight title talks. Had enough of this. Lots of things going on. Dom, thank you for joining in the show. Is there anything? Oh, I forgot to ask. Anything we have to say about these topics before we end the show? All right.
Roll Tide.
All right.
Bang.
Well, there we go. All right, Dom, thank you very much for joining the show. We really appreciate it. Cole, good luck at baseball over the course of the week. Obviously, I will be there. Sorgi, our producer, will be there. Dom will be at the spring, the sneak peek on Thursday. He'll be somewhere. But thank you for tuning into the latest edition of the CR7 Podcast. Thank you to our 5-minute producer, Anthony Sorgi, for showing up, obviously, after the